There we go. Sorry. How are we doing, chat? Welcome to the show. We were supposed to do this Friday, but it is what it is. We both had some other things going on, and we were both busy. But here we are, Saturday. And you know what? There's actually a lot to talk about because before we hopped on the show, man, so much stuff happened, like news updates. And we want to kind of talk about this because this is all important leading up to the Seattle Seahawks game. Just a lot that's going on with the 49ers in terms of injuries and updates and stuff like that. I'm going to go over those real quick. But before we do, I got to welcome my main man, Bash, and he's got some things he wants to share as well. So, yeah, take it away, my boy.
How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's good. Yeah, some people's having a great week, and some people had a few rough weeks. We get it, but it's sad and unfortunate that we did lose one of our own the night of our victory versus the Eagles, which was an amazing game, by the way. So we had mentioned Corey Davis said he needed your prayers, and I still say he needs everybody's prayers because we want to make sure he's in a better place. And we did lose him a few hours after that Eagles game. He was able to watch it and enjoy that victory, that amazing game. And Corey will always stay in our hearts. He's a great person. He has a heart of gold, and he needs all your prayers and your support. We want to make sure he's in a better place. So shout out to you, Corey Davis. We're dedicating the show to you.
Yes, sir. We are dedicating the show to Big Corey. Much love. I'm happy that he got to witness that beatdown of the Eagles.
I just found out yesterday. That he actually got to watch and enjoy the game. So I wasn't sure if he was even watching. So that's good to know.
That's good to know, man. But yeah, our prayers are with him and his family and friends and everybody that was close to him. So we will definitely dedicate this show to Big Corey. Much love. And with that, like I said, there's a lot to talk about, my friend Bash. Let's get off with the lead. I want to go over this. So Ray McLeod was placed on the injured reserve today. His rib injury had a little bit of a setback, and it looks like they elevated, or not actually elevated, they signed Chris Conley. Like, he was on the practice squad for the season, and he kept getting elevated here and there. They just signed him today because there was an active roster spot, open, and Chris Conley was the guy that got the call. The veteran, he's played special teams. He can start if he needs to. He can come in and run the offense and whatever the case is. So he got signed to the active roster with Ray McLeod dealing with the rib injury, having a little setback. The big thing that really took, made me surprised is like, okay, I like Chris Conley. He's been solid. He's been surprising. When he gets the chance, he's not bad. But the big takeaway for me is Danny Gray, who Kyle Shanahan said a couple of weeks ago, is okay. He's good to go if they need him. If there's ever a way to get him in there, we can. He wasn't activated for the injury reserve. Now, also, his roster spot wasn't activated in terms of being elevated to practice because if you're in the injured reserve, you got to have your practice window open. They haven't done that with Danny Gray. They didn't elevate him. They signed Chris Conley to the roster. So Danny Gray, man, just not really sticking around or making a headways for this team. And the other takeaway that I think is third round picks with the 49ers, just not necessarily the greatest, over the last couple of years. Now, Fred Warner is a third round pick and he was great. So it's not always the case. And Ambry Thomas is finally getting it down. So maybe it just takes some time for some of these players because Ambry, again, we thought he was going to be a bust and he's become a very big bright spot. But what do you think? Ray McLeod, injured reserve. Chris Conley was assigned to the roster. No Danny Gray. What do you think about the whole special teams unit now, like moving forward?
Oh, I got a lot to say. I just want to go give a quick shout out to all the chatters out there. We appreciate you guys. This Corey stuff actually just hit me pretty hard. It took me forever to hit me hard, but it did. But it is what it is, man. It's a part of life. So shout out to the chatters. You guys have always been supportive of my channel and Raj's channel. If you're not subscribed to Raj's channel, RSF 49ers Live, check it out. And you guys probably followed on Instagram. But yeah, the special teams. I mean, I liked Ray a whole lot better on special teams last year, returning kicks than this year. I just thought he was more productive last year, but sucks to see anybody get hurt, obviously, out for the season. And, we were thinking, a good friend of mine, Joey, shout out to Joey, Niner Joe, he's all about Danny Gray. He's on the Danny Gray train, and it doesn't look good for Danny Gray. I've been talking to him about it the past few weeks. I'm like, if he's going to get elevated, it's going to be now. It was like the past few weeks. And if he's not going to be elevated now, who knows if he's even going to be a Niner anymore? Who knows what's going to happen with that? I mean, Chris Conley, though, he's a 6'3", 205 veteran. His best season with Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2019, 775 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's had some pretty solid years, some pretty productive years. I mean, 6'3", 205, runs a 4.38, 5.40. He's a veteran, with a lot of experience, and I liked him in the preseason. So honestly, for when I saw the preseason, I am curious to see what he can do in some real games in that Niner uniform, especially the way Brock is playing, man. Just I'd love to see that connection out on the field, and I'm kind of excited to see it.
Yeah, obviously, he's a solid guy. He looked good in the preseason and training camp and stuff. But again, I don't know how much action he's really going to get in terms of catches and receptions and stuff like that, because there is guys like Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. Those guys are phenomenal. But the thing about it is the 49ers need special teams, man. They really do. With Ray McLeod, being banged up, they had to use Deebo Samuel as a kick returner. Now Deebo played good as a kick returner. I like Deebo. He's just electric. He's great with the ball in his hands. But the thing is, if you keep using Deebo as a return man, that's going to take away from him being a weapon in the offense, or could lead to injuries. Because returning kicks, you're just a free guy out there getting shellacked by defensive, special teams players. You're getting hit. And if you're taking that hit and then you have to go into the offense, and for Deebo, he does so much, all the motions and the jet sweeps and all like the pre-snap moves he does. He's all that window dressing they do. That's a lot. He's running a lot. He's running a lot nowhere. So he does just a lot of work for this team, and you don't want him to take a beating special teams and then go in there and have to play wide receiver stuff. So I know he can do it. He's unselfish, but I hope Conley can step up and help this return game. And then the other guy we haven't mentioned, Ronnie Bell, man. Ronnie Bell has been so good this season when he's been called upon. I remember the Giants game, he got his touchdown. He's had a few catches here and there through the season. He's made some big plays. He's made some big special teams plays, fumble recovery a couple weeks ago. So maybe he gets the call. Maybe he's the guy. He's the opposite of Danny Gray. Like when he gets an opportunity, Ronnie Bell, he makes the most of it. Danny Gray, he just hasn't made the most of his opportunity. So I like Ronnie. Maybe he gets a chance.
Yeah. We were both at that New York Giants game when he had that nice little catch in the end zone in the corner, on the left corner of the end zone. So we like what we saw in the preseason from Ronnie Bell. He's a guy who's probably got all the fundamentals down since his dad's a college wide receiver coach. I forgot where he coaches at, but he's not the biggest guy, he's not the fastest guy, he's not the strongest guy, but he just seems very sound in everything he does. And when Deebo did go down, me and a few other 49er fans were just like, hey, man, why aren't we using Ronnie Bell more? Why aren't we getting him involved more when Deebo was out? But it's what it is. Maybe we do see him more integrated in the offense now. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how it goes. Now, another interesting little move here this weekend. So obviously the 49ers, every team, the day before a game, they always elevate players from the practice squad depending on the depth and what they need and injuries and things like that. So today they elevated 2 players. They elevated Eric Harris, safety. Makes sense, right? Darrell Luter's hurt. He's banged up with a hamstring issue. They've needed some depth at safety. Obviously, they got Logan Ryan the other day, but they still need a little bit more depth in terms of special teams specifically, because George Odom is out, and he was a big-time special teams player. And, Hufanga's out, and some other guys are banged up, like I mentioned, Darrell Luter. So Eric Harris was elevated from the practice squad, just like he was last week, solid veteran. The other guy that I was pretty actually surprised about when I saw this today, so Jeremy McNichols, running back, was elevated from the practice squad to the active roster. You know who I thought was going to get elevated? Ty Davis Price. This man has had a whirlwind of a week. He got cut Tuesday. He got brought back Thursday. And then today, I thought he was going to be elevated from the practice squad. I was like, oh, okay. Elijah Mitchell's dealing with the knee injury. TDP. Boom. He was not. It was Jeremy McNichols. So now Jordan Mason's running back 2. Jeremy McNichols is running back 3 if Elijah Mitchell is not going to play tomorrow, which I doubt he is because he's got a knee injury and he's doubtful. So kind of crazy. Again, what do we talk about? 3rd-round picks for the 49ers. Not a good omen most of the time. And Ty Davis Price, man, I feel bad for this guy. I thought he was going to get elevated today, but Jeremy McNichols from the top rope, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I know. I was kind of hoping TDP would do something this year. I only went to one training camp practice. The one practice I went to, he looked pretty decent out there. A few times in the preseason, he looked all right. He's a powerful runner, you could say, or power style runner. There were questions in pass blocking, pass protection for TDP. I actually ran into his dad at training camp, and I was just hoping for good things for the kid. But I don't know what it is that Shanahan doesn't like, or maybe Bobby Turner doesn't like. There's something out there that they do not like. And even though they did sign him back to the practice squad, I can't put my finger on it. And Jeremy McNichols, I mean, he's bounced around to like 8 different teams, I think was what it is. And I mean, he's not necessarily a world beater at the position, but maybe his veteran experience, he has the edge on with that veteran experience, he has the edge on TDP, perhaps. He's been in the league since 2017, so I guess he's the better guy for the position in their eyes. So we'll see how that plays out. But I don't know about these 3rd-round picks, man. That's why I was so happy when we actually got value for a 3rd rounder with the Chase Young trade. I don't know what we're doing in the 3rd round.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because what are we going to do? We're going to get another TDP or, Danny Gray that's not going to really do much, or are you going to get Chase Young, who's actually productive and helping our team out? So it was a great trade, man, because these 3rd-round picks, Randy said it earlier, we get all these comp picks, we get all these damn 3rd-round picks, and they don't do a blood nickel for this team. So, and then we had Robbie here. He says, we really haven't seen him, but TDP not being elevated makes me think he's not very good. Like, if you can't be elevated this week and you got cut in the same week, like yeah, are you even that good? I don't know, man. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, like, not looking good for him, And then somebody else in the comments, Russell says, McNichols is more well-rounded than TDP, and it goes to what you just said, is he's the veteran, so maybe he understands the concepts a little bit more than TDP. But, I mean, if you're a young player, you need to learn the game and quick, because you got to prove when you're out there in practice, like, show Kyle, like, yeah, I'm that guy. Who's Jeremy McNichols? You drafted me in the 3rd round for a reason. So, 3rd-round picks, man, not getting a good rap for the 49ers, unless your name is Fred Warner. Again, 3rd-round pick out of BYU. He's a legend. And Ambry Thomas, shout out to Ambry. He's really stepping it up. I love what I've seen out of him. I hope he has another big week this week, Moving forward, I think the other big news of the week, my man, is Dre Greenlaw. So today, all the news finally broke out, which I figured it was, because Saturday is the day where they make fines and suspensions. The league gets everything tidied up before the following week. And, Saturday is kind of the last day of that, previous week. So Dom DeSandro, the Eagles head of security, Big Dom, he got banned from being on the sidelines of the game with the Eagles and the Cowboys. So that's really it. He got banned. He can still go to work and do his job. He just can't be on the sidelines. So let me pull up all the information.
So in other words, he's doing nothing.
Like, he's just doing nothing like he always does. He's just a big dum-dum. So this is from Adam Schefter early in the morning. Eagles head of security Dom DeSandro is being barred from being on the Philadelphia sideline for Sunday night game versus the Cowboys for his part in last Sunday's sideline fracas with 49ers linebacker Dre Greenlaw. It says DeSandro is allowed to go to the Dallas game with the Eagles and do all his regular duties, which you said is nothing, just not be on the team side. Crazy. So I guess he also met with the Eagles officials this morning or Friday morning in the league office. With Commissioner Roger Goodell. The league is still reviewing additional material to see if further discipline is warranted. Just fire the guy. He's a dummy. And then Dre Greenlaw this morning, they said, is expected to be fined today, right, for the hit that led to the sideline melee. So basically the body slam of Devonta Smith. So that brings us to just about an hour ago before we hopped on here. That was the big news of the afternoon. The NFL fined linebacker Dre Greenlaw $10,927 for body slamming Eagles wide receiver Devonta Smith. He got fined nearly $11,000 for playing football and tackling someone hard.
Oh man, he for those who hate the Warriors and they hate it when I use his parallel, man, he's our Draymond Green is what it is. Draymond Green has this reputation with the referees, and any little thing he does, any little time he raises his voice, he's going to get kicked out of the game or get a technical foul. And I see that pattern with Draymond, Dre, Green, and Greenlaw. So there's so definitely some parallels there. And it's just, I mean, I love you. Even with Draymond Green, you want an enforcer on your team, right? Greenlaw's our enforcer, right? You can say on defense, and it's a double-edged sword because you want that tough guy, but then again, you don't want to get in trouble and get penalized, and then you don't want to lose him in the game either. Good thing we overcame that obstacle of him getting ejected in the game, and it kind of fired the team up a little bit more. But just calm down just a little. Just I don't know, man. You don't want to tone him down too much. You still want him to be that dog, but I don't know. That was an expensive body slam, man. I'm sure he had a lot of. I'm sure he was watching the Junkyard Dog back in the day in WWF and all that, and he probably learned a few moves, man.
Yeah, man, Brock Lesnar move style right there. But Dre Greenlaw, I think you hit it right. He is the enforcer we talked about. I saw the meme this week. Dre Greenlaw and Draymond Green pointing at each other. It really is our Draymond Green of the 49ers. The Bay Area culture.
Bay Area.
You want him to tone it down, but at the same time, you don't want him to lose his passion. He's just an emotional guy. He's just a gritty player. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when the NFL was what it was, when it was like just that gritty league, when they were letting people hit, Dre Greenlaw would have been just another guy. He just would have been another, because that's how everybody was. To me, that's like the epitome of a linebacker. Is you want to be tough as nails, just hit people in the mouth, bloody their lip. That's Dre Greenlaw. And unfortunately for the 49ers, we have a guy that he's an old school player, and that doesn't, it doesn't really jive nowadays. But I love Dre. I think it was stupid that he got fined that much money.
Yeah.
But
and you were the first person. Well, I mean, we all knew about Dre Greenlaw when he got drafted, but you were the first one to put me and a couple of my friends on a little bit more Dre Greenlaw hype, because you were at training camp and you were like, he reminds me of Patrick Willis. And I was like, whoa, really? Like that was like his rookie year. You were telling me that.
I remember I was there, and then I remember they posted this video thousands of times on social media. I've probably posted it many times, where he's, Kyle Juszczyk is running. He gets a little screen pass. Of course, Jimmy G drops in a little screen pass, and Dre Greenlaw, whoa, just blooded. I just boom, speared him, Roman Reigns.
And the Sonic coins just pop out. The Sonic the Hedgehog coins pop out.
I was like, oh my! When I was like, who is this young man? Oh my god! So yeah, he's a beast.
Hey, but who's that guy? What's your boy on Instagram's name? Learn.
Oh yeah,
Learn that.
Yeah, big.
Yeah. He posted a video the other day of, apparently he was at that Seahawks game when was a Hollister, the tight end on the Seahawks. The Hollister got stopped at the 1 yard line when Greenlaw tackled that famous play. Mm-hmm. And I think Learn filmed it with his own phone, because it was a view I had never seen before. He had a good view of it and sitting in the crowd, and I was like, wow, you could really hear that hit. You could hear that hit from where Dude was sitting, man. And Dude wasn't sitting right up on the sidelines or anything. I was like, damn, that was a pretty loud hit.
Damn, that's cool. Yeah, my boy. Yeah, I saw he showed me that video before. I was like, oh shit. So it's amazing how hard of a hitter Dre Greenlaw is. He's a menace, man. Mm-hmm. You know what? 10K fine. I know 10K for him is pennies, but still,
it's still a lot for them.
Messing with someone's money, like he's gonna be absolutely pissed off, Bash. I know he is. He's going to be so upset, and I think he's going to take it out tomorrow on those sea chickens. And I can't wait. So
I mean, we could say those guys make a lot of money, and 10K may not be loud. But I remember when Eric Armstead showed his paycheck, those guys get taxed beyond belief. So 10,000 does mean something to them.
$10,000. No matter how you slice, you could be rich, poor, in the middle. You're still losing $10,000, man. So it's unfortunate. Now, speaking of Seattle, there's some information going on about Gino Smith. There's information about what's going on with him. So a couple different reports. This is the most latest report from Jordan Schultz. Let me pull this up. Shout out to Jordan Schultz. That guy works for Bleacher Report now. He's getting big time. So Seahawks quarterback Gino Smith, we all know he's listed as questionable with the groin injury. It says he's tracking to be a game-time decision Sunday versus the 49ers. It says Smith has been very limited in practice throughout the week, but he will try and play in what's become a hugely important matchup for Seattle. He's going to try to play, but he is a game-time decision. And earlier today, there was a big roster move for the Seattle Seahawks. Let me pull this one up. It says, let's see, the Seahawks elevated quarterback Sean Mannion from the practice squad to their active roster. So that's significant, because if they're elevating Sean Mannion, that's telling me that they're maybe thinking he's going to be QB2, not a QB3.
Yeah, it sounds like Gino isn't playing if that's the case.
It does sound like Gino might not play, although he's a game-time decision. He's trying to play, but if Gino doesn't play and Mannion is the backup, you know who the starting quarterback is? Drew Lock, ladies and gentlemen. Drew Lock would be the starter for Seattle Seahawks if Gino Smith can't play. Can you imagine Drew Lock playing tomorrow? Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Against Chase Young and Bosa? Man. Randy Gregory and Hargrave, and now we got Kalia Davis in the mix.
Yeah.
Kinlaw coming off a 2-sack game.
Yeah. And Arik Armstead's going to be out tomorrow. That's the big news for the 49ers. Arik Armstead and Spencer Burford. Feliciano will step in for Burford. But Armstead, he'll be out. That's a big presence. But Kalia Davis and Javon Kinlaw will have to take his role. What do you think about Kalia Davis and Javon Kinlaw? They had a really, really good game last week. That was like Kinlaw's best game of his career, man. He really feeling the vibe. He's like so emotional. He's thanking Arik Armstead in that video a couple of days ago, where they had the Walter Payton nomination video, and they showed all the defensive players like just showing so much support for Armstead. But man, Kinlaw, that guy really, really looks up to Armstead because early in Armstead's career, he was injured a lot himself. He kind of went through similar stuff that Kinlaw did, maybe not to the same extent of injuries, but he did. And you can tell that, man, Javon Kinlaw really looks up to Armstead. He's a great veteran, the OG, 9-year guy. And Kalia Davis, man, first sack of his NFL career. He dealt with an ACL last year in his rookie season. So what do you think about these two younger defensive tackles?
I mean, a lot of us, I'll be honest, man, I try to be the mean guy, but a lot of us wrote off Kinlaw. I mean, we saw Kinlaw get tossed around like a rag doll last year in Philly in the playoff game, and he's had a very questionable career, to say the least. I'm going to try to say that in the most diplomatic way I can. I don't want to be Grant Cohn or anything like that, but hey, man. I mean, Jalen Hurts, he held on to the ball for a long, long time. I mean, really, really quick. Shout out to the coverage of that game, because there were times where I was like, why is Jalen holding on to the ball for so long? And literally nobody was open at times. Like the DBs were doing hella good, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, there was one time when Jalen Hurts was out there and he was moving, and then he slipped, and then Kinlaw kind of tagged him for like the easy gimme sack.
Yeah, the easy.
Then he had another one. I forgot what it looked like. There was just it was just such a fun game. It was an amazing game, and good for him, man. I hope he can build off of that. I hope that's a confidence booster for Kinlaw. I really, really do. Yeah. I want him to be the best he can be. I want every player on this team the ball out. We're trying to win number 6, aren't we? It takes everybody. It takes the whole roster to do so. Kalia Davis, though, he's another player who I was rooting for big time because we had to redshirt him because he was hurt his rookie year completely. And I was thinking we were never going to see him this season because it was already past midseason and we never elevated him. He did play a little bit in the preseason, and this guy's a former linebacker. I believe he started off his college career as a linebacker. They converted him to defensive tackle. About 6'1", 320. He can move. He's got some mobility. When you watch his college film, you can see those linebacker instincts, and you can tell that he's a good linebacker. And a lot of people were liking him, like, hey, this may be our replacement. Since we lost DJ Jones, this could be our guy, DJ Jones prototype D tackle, and I'm hoping he could be that guy. So I'm a little excited for him. And what do you know? His first game gets a sack. So that's awesome, man. That's pretty good. 6th round pick in 2022 draft. Hopefully we get some more production out of him.
Yeah, I hope so. Again, nice to see a player that had to battle through injuries. Both of those guys, step in and make a name for himself. So unfortunate for Armstead, he's out, who's been having, a really good year. But it is fortunate for these other guys that are trying to learn and get better and develop. And Kinlaw, like you said, he's never really got the footing because of the injuries. It's good for him to get some more experience, and it's good film for him on tape. Whether he stays with the Niners or not, he's going to have some good film now, and that's good for him if he's trying to get signed somewhere as a free agent. So, and Kalia Davis, he needs the experience. He's a young buck. This is basically his rookie season. So, because he redshirted last year. Now, I have a question here that I want to get to. James Durnall says, is Brown getting benched? Ji'Ayir Brown, that is. What's with the Ryan signing? Depth. Logan Ryan was signed.
Logan Ryan.
Good move. A solid veteran. He's a guy that's been in the league for 10 years, a 2-time Super Bowl champ. He posted yesterday, I want to get the 3rd ring. Basically, he's ring chasing, baby. He's a veteran. He's going to provide good leadership in that locker room. Ji'Ayir Brown's a young cornerback, safety, good DB. He's the future. He got thrown into the mix with the Talanoa Hufunga's big injury, and I like the move. Logan Ryan could play anywhere on the secondary. He can be a special teamer. He can basically be the Jimmy Ward of this secondary. He's the guy that's going to be the Swiss Army knife, basically. So if he needs to start, he will. They maybe can take it a little easier on Ji'Ayir Brown because he is going to be, challenged a lot. A lot of teams are going to want to throw it to Ji'Ayir. He's held his own. It's not like he's played horrible, but a guy like Logan Ryan's a good veteran, and now the 49ers are getting to the dog days of the season. December football, January football, you need veterans, you need guys that have been there, championship mentality. So yeah, maybe Ji'Ayir Brown will have his splits, rotated between Logan Ryan, and I like Ryan again, good veteran. You saw this week he kind of was signed. They dropped TDP. He took his number in his locker room. They brought him back. He said, "All right, cool. Yeah, have your jersey back. Have your locker room back. I don't care. I just want to be here and help this team win." So solid guy, good veteran. He might play some, snaps, significant amount more than Ji'Ayir Brown. He says he's eager and he's just trying to learn this defense as much as he can. And his story is of he was like on a Bahamas trips with his family, and he got the call. He's like, "Oh, okay, I can't be drinking. I gotta go." And I like this guy already. So yeah, shout out to Logan Ryan. I think he's a good addition, but it doesn't necessarily mean Ji'Ayir Brown's not going to start. But Kyle Shanahan and rookies, you got to really earn your keep.
Yeah. And shout out to James Durnall. He's repping the 49ers and the UK Niner Empire all the way across the pond in Great Britain. So he's an awesome 49er fan. We appreciate all you guys overseas, man.
Sure, absolutely.
And Logan Ryan, man, he's a really good guy to have in the locker room too. Obviously, he's an insurance policy. He's one of the best zone cornerbacks in the NFL, and they transitioned him to safety. So I don't know if we'd ever be running him at corner at all, but sounds like he could help for safety and be a good insurance policy. So hey, it should help.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, any depth can help, especially this point of the season. It's a grind of a season. 17 games. You got to make sure you have depth that can play, step in. You never know what's going to happen. And, look what happened. Armstead goes down, and now they have guys that can, hold it down for him until he comes back, probably against the Ravens. So you need depth. You need veterans. You need guys that have been there before. So
he's got 2 Super Bowl champions on his resume, too, so you can't hit on that.
Kind of nice. Yeah, kind of nice. Let me take a look at some more of these comments. Let's see. Yeah, Kyle loves veterans. There it is. This is a good question. I want to address this with you. Because this was a big story this week. So the 49ers apparently are in the mix to sign veteran free agent tight end Zack Ertz. He's going to be sitting on his couch this weekend, watching all the games and seeing what team he really wants to sign for. He is the epitome of a free agent. The 49ers expressed interest. Ross Dwelley, their tight end too, has a high ankle sprain. Kind of fitting. You can probably put him on the injury reserve, sign Zack Ertz, and he'd be a great addition to this team. He'd be an upgrade over Ross Dwelley, no disrespect, at tight end too. And then you'd have Zack Ertz and George Kittle, 2 tight end sets with Kyle Shanahan running this offense. Are you kidding me? What do you think? Should the 49ers sign Zack Ertz, and do you think they will?
I'm not sure if they would, but something tells me he might want to stick around. He's a Bay Area guy. He went to high school in Danville, played at Stanford, was pretty damn good for the Eagles. I'm not sure how good he is now. I didn't watch him with the Cardinals. There were some mixed reviews that he may not be the same guy anymore, but I just think that he'd bring a whole lot to his offense, opposite of Kittle, if you run those 2 tight end sets. Here's not necessarily much of the blocker, so I mean, not sure where they're going with this, but we're supposedly in talks. I don't know why nothing got done just yet. I don't know what they're waiting for, and maybe his agent's being difficult. Who knows what's going on? But I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk if we don't get him. But I think it would be nice to get him, and I think he'd like to chase that ring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, ring chasing season. And again, we talked about Logan Ryan. Now he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. And he has champion experience. Zack Ertz, he also has championship experience. So this is, again, the point of the season where if you can get guys like that and they can really help lead your players who haven't won a championship, and kind of give them that edge, it's going to really be good for the 49ers if they were to sign a guy like that, because he can tell them, hey, man, this is championship ball. Stay focused, stay locked in. They know what it takes, guys like that. Like, it does make a little bit of a difference. It's a little bit of an edge when you've been there and you know what to expect. You know what you got to focus on. Because let's say it's a big game, everybody's nervous, and these guys can say, hey, look, man, we still got our eyes on the prize, and, championships within reach. So it's good to have those guys. And, yeah, absolutely would be fun to see him with George Kittle. I think they'll probably he'll make his decision this week, Monday, Tuesday, after this weekend's games. I just hope that one reason I want the 49ers to sign him is so another team that we're in contention with, Eagles, Cowboys, Chiefs, Ravens, so they don't get him. Because if we have to play one of those, I don't want to play against him. I mean, I know he's not what he was at his prime of his career, but he's still a very good tight end. and I'd rather have him on our roster than on another person's roster. So, you know what I mean?
And who was that? Dallas Goedert? Is he coming back anytime soon for the Eagles? I'm not sure what his status
He's
is.
coming back this week,
Mhm.
actually.
Okay, he comes back this week. Okay, so it's not like they're in
Yeah.
desperate need for the guy either. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So
we'll see where he ends up.
we'll see, man. I hope we get him, bro. That'd be good. Can you? That just shows you how aggressive John Lynch has been. And if he goes and gets Zach Ertz this season, look, it's Randy Gregory, Chase Young, Logan Ryan, and then Zach Ertz if he does it in the season. Like that is just heavy lifting, man. That is amazing GM work. You got to give John Lynch all the flowers in the world. Um,
Yeah, shout out to John Lynch because I know some Niner fans were like, "Oh, he doesn't get anybody. We always say that we're going to get this guy. We don't get him." And I'm like, I think he shut everybody up with that Chase Young move, and pick up Logan Ryan isn't too shabby either, and Zach Ertz. We'll see what we do. I mean, it's gonna be fun.
all right, can't wait, baby. Let me see. What else we
We
got?
talk about Purdy for a little bit, man.
Let's talk about MVP Purdy.
Yeah, I know, man. He's in like I think Las Vegas has him, and I didn't know that they did the actual bets and they had actual betting lines for who gets the NFL MVP. I'm behind at the whole Vegas thing. I know you used to live out there, but I'm kind of like a novice when it comes to that. But that's what I was hearing. I heard Purdy's the front runner.
Yeah, he right now is a lead of the odds for MVP. He's plus 300. So, there's people doubting him, but he's slowly coming around and proving those doubters wrong now. I love it. Like he's proven people wrong. Obviously, there's still people that are going to hate him, the Nick Wrights of the world and et cetera, et cetera. But man, Brock Purdy has been doing amazing. Other than that 3-game slide, every quarterback goes through some ups, down streaks, some up streaks, whatever. They're going to have some adversity, but he's really come back after the bye week, and he's been just amazing. Number one in like passer rating, quarterback completion percentage, yards per attempt, just so much. He's number one in primarily every quarterback statistical category. And people say, "Oh well, it's all the players he has around him." So what, dude? You're supposed to have good players. Look at Peyton Manning, the tweet that we posted yesterday. 4 players have potential to get 1,000 yards from scrimmage. Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, CMC. Hasn't been done since 2004, since Peyton Manning and the Colts, had the Fab Four with him, and that was amazing offense. And Peyton Manning won MVP. And that's the thing, man. It's not like Brock Purdy isn't doing anything. He's getting the ball to his weapons. It's not his fault that you can't tackle Debo Samuel after 5 yards. It's just he's doing his job. They're blitzing him. He was perfect under the blitz last week, which so many people have talked about this week. 10 out of 10. Like Brock is doing his thing. He's creating. When they need to take a shot deep, he's doing it. Like Kyle Shanahan's not going to throw deep every play. Like that's not his offense.
That's not how the West Coast offense is.
Not how it goes. And he's manufacturing the West Coast offense very well, the way it needs to be done. Like if you're going to sit there and say he's not the MVP, then you need to take away Steve Young's MVP awards. You need to take away Joe Montana's MVP awards. Joe Montana, man, this guy had a stacked roster on his team, right? And so did Steve Young. So did pretty much every good team and MVP candidate that won it. Like, quarterbacks. They're always surrounded by good talent, but they're the leaders. They're the guys facilitating the ball. Look at Joe Montana and Steve Young, man. Like, that's a prime example. Steve Young, Jerry Rice, and Brent Clark and all the legends they had back then, man. The defense, Ken Norton Jr. and Deion Sanders and Merton Hanks and Eric Davis, they were so good. We can go on and on. Bryant Young. Just because he had talent on that roster, you think he didn't deserve his MVP trophy is stupid to me. So Brock Purdy has played phenomenal, man, and he's elevated this team. The team trusts him. He went into Philadelphia on the road, and he 4 touchdowns, outplayed Jalen Hurts. And everybody says, this is going to make or break Brock. And last year in the offseason, we said if Brock Purdy would have played in this NFC Championship game, it would have been a different story. And it truly was a different story. So he's just making people look stupid that doubt him, man.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm gonna drop some stat lines for people just to give some people a better perspective of what Purdy's doing. I mean, the 3 best teams that we faced all year, the teams that were on win streaks, that were supposed to be the toughest teams that we played. Dallas, we won 42-10. He had 4 touchdowns against them, 252 yards, 0 interceptions. On the road in Jacksonville, when Jacksonville was on a winning streak, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. On the road in Philly, best team in the league, right? 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, 314 yards. I mean, he always rises to the occasion. I mean, he might actually break a record this year for most games with a 140 plus passer rating in a game. Right now, he has 4. And the only other quarterbacks to have 4 in the history of the NFL are 2011 Aaron Rodgers, 2010 Tom Brady, 2007 Tom Brady, and 1973 Roger Staubach. So if Brock Purdy has one more game where he ends up with a 140 plus passer rating, he'll break an NFL record, you could say. And a lot of people have this whole stigma where I don't know where they get it from. Because, like you mentioned, Debo. Like this past game, sure, Debo was getting a lot of yak yards, and it was fun though because we got to see the Debo. There's a nostalgia with Debo. It's almost like a John Taylor, but like a different version one, like a John Taylor on steroids at times, where he's just a lot harder to bring down than John Taylor, you could say was. But this whole stigma of it's all yak, it's all yak, it's all yak. And this one guy just debunked it. I think it was Kurt Banker and another guy on this other podcast I posted on my Instagram. I don't know his name, but I posted 2 videos on my Instagram, and
I saw that.
He broke it down. It's like I looked up the stats too. Which teams in the NFL get the most yak yards? Guess what? Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. They had the most yak yards in the whole NFL. Well, who nobody would dare discredit Patrick Mahomes and say, "Oh, all his receivers get his yak yards, and that's why he's good." But yet, because Brock Purdy every now and then has Debo or Kittle or whoever or CMC get yak yards, they think it's a crime and they think he's not that good. Well, the Niners are 6th in the NFL in getting the most yak yards. We're not even, I mean, I'll take it. If we're 6, Purdy has thrown some balls down the field. The timing, the ball placement, the accuracy, the fact that he can do these throws when he's about to get hit or when he is getting hit, or when he's on the move, he makes some really, really nice throws on the move with his feet. And I don't know what people are smoking when they say he's only a system guy and he's a game manager, because we've had those guys. Alex Smith with Harbaugh was a game manager. Go back and watch the film. He did his job, right? But go back. It's night and day with what Purdy's doing this year and what he did last year compared to what Alex Smith did that year or what other game managers normally do. He is not a game manager. He's not a system guy. He's really showing he's got some talent. Now, the question is, can he do this for an extended period of time in his career? That's the question. But so far, so good. If you rack up his 17 games that he's played so far in his career, from last year till now, 17 starts, and it's like something over like 4,500 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The ratios are insane from touchdown to interception ratio. The passer rating is through the roof. I mean, I don't know what more could this guy do in order to win over the skeptics. I don't know, man. I guess he's got to win it all and be perfect. I don't know,
man. What else can he do? He's really he's only 23. He's been in the league for a year, and he's playing quarterback at a high level. Like, we don't see quarterbacks like this young come in and just dominate the league. I get there's talent, but you still have to come in and put perform and get the ball where it is. How many times have we seen a top-notch quarterback, a first-round pick, come in and just stink up the place? And they put it's not easy to play quarterback. Like, we've seen Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, just bad every year. Look at the draft class Trey Lance was in. That draft class is terrible. Zach Wilson and, everybody in that draft class, Mac Jones, these guys are all terrible. And for someone to sit there and say that, oh, you could put any one of those guys in Brock Purdy's shoes and it would be great. No, it wouldn't. We saw Jimmy Garoppolo in this offense. It was so limited. He had the same players that Brock Purdy did. And how come the 49ers are scoring more? They're just more efficient. This guy's poised. He doesn't get rattled. He is the reason why this team is doing good. It's not just that he gets the ball to the weapons. Yes, we have great players. Good teams have great players. That's the whole point of building a football team. I would hate to sit here and watch football every Sunday if our receivers were Lewis Murphy, no disrespect, Murphy, and other guys Arnaz Battle and just like mid-ass players like AJ Jenkins. We don't have talent. Rashawn Woods. Like, they have good talent because that's the goal of a football team, is to get good players. And now your quarterback has to also be good. So he's elevating their abilities on the field, what the other quarterbacks on this team failed to do in numerous seasons with Kyle Shanahan. So for the people that hate on him, they're just stupid. They just can't accept facts. And eventually Brock's going to get the last laugh, because if he and the 49ers go to the Super Bowl and they win, I mean, people are going to be, oh, bro, I've always loved bro, Mr. Irrelevant. What a star. They're going to sit there. I always loved him. No, they haven't. People are just going to ride the coattail because then they're going to be like, I can't look stupid. I got to accept him. So I love Brock. He's going to rock. My boy, I hope he gets the MVP. But my biggest takeaway on this whole thing is the league is not gonna give him the MVP award because he hasn't earned it. He's Mr.
Because
Relevant.
he's drafted in the 7th round, last pick.
That. Not gonna give it to him, which is stupid. The voters were gonna penalize him, I feel. But the thing is, you said it right. He beat Trevor Lawrence. He beat Dak Prescott. He beat Jalen Hurts. And I hope he beats Lamar Jackson. If he beats all those guys, what else is he left to do to win the MVP? Does he need to, like, I don't know. I don't know.
And it's funny because a lot of people.
Real quick, freaking Ohtani signed with the Dodgers. This man makes so much more money than Brock Purdy, who's the MVP of the NFL. Like, I saw someone tweet this. It's crazy. I think Lombardi tweeted this. You want to know how little money Brock Purdy makes? It's disrespectful, and he deserves MVP so he can get a raise, man. Let me tell you that contract for Ohtani was insane. $700 million.
Ohtani.
Check it out. 2 games of Shohei Ohtani. 2 games. He plays 2 games in baseball this year. He's going to get paid $864,000. $196,000. $864,000. Right? Brock Purdy, his one season, $870,000. In 2 games, Shohei Ohtani is going to make as much as Brock Purdy's 1 year salary. This man needs an absolute raise because he is playing like a damn MVP. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy because people say like, oh well, he's played 4 years of college and that's why he's doing it. And I get it. It helps that he played 4 years of college. But I've seen plenty of other NFL college quarterbacks come into the NFL who had 4 years of college experience and just stink everything up, regardless of what weapons, what line they have in front of them, what system they're in. It's so hard. People don't understand how hard it is to have a quarterback in the NFL put up okay numbers, let alone the numbers Purdy's putting up. They act like it's just some plug and play thing that you do with your eyes closed, and it's not. And we've known this. We've through the years have struggled to find good quarterbacks. It's unbelievable how he gets discredited. We should know how hard it is, and we should appreciate it. And I definitely want Purdy to excel all throughout his career as a 49er. And and if he deserves a bag, give him the bag.
Give that man his bag, man. Give him his bag, Bash. It's crazy to me they won't give him his respect. At least give him his flowers. He deserves his bag, but he needs his flowers first and foremost. But it's unfortunate. The league hates him. The league is just, they'll figure it out eventually, I hope. So, yeah, man, Brock, I think he's going to go into this game, Levi Stadium, and cook it up. He's undefeated against the Seahawks. Look, you know how much I love
the Seahawk killer.
Bro, he's the Seahawk killer. Do you know how many years we sat here and watched the Seahawks beat the crap out of the Niners? And I'm like, God, when are we going to beat them? And it was like every year you're like, oh, come on, can we just beat them? And Jimmy would throw interceptions, and whoever was in that quarterback, CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. Like, it was painful watching these teams play the Seahawks. Brock Purdy goes in there, and he owns these damn Seahawks, and I love it, man. This guy's undefeated against the Seahawks. It makes me feel so good. So I think Brock's going to continue his streak against the Seahawks, man. This guy, I don't know. I don't know what else I could say, but I just love Brock Purdy, man. He's fun to play. He's fun to watch. It's just nice and refreshing to wake up every morning and you don't have quarterback controversy. You don't know, like, you don't have any issues like, oh my God, who's going to play quarterback? How are we really going to have a chance to win? I know the 49ers have a chance to win every Sunday now with Brock Purdy. So I love it. Let's get to it. So Seattle, San Francisco 49ers tomorrow, Levi Stadium. Your boy's going to be there. I can't wait.
Let's go.
What are your, like?
You were at the stadium yesterday, right? Weren't you at the stadium?
A promo. Oh yeah, let me talk to you about that.
I saw you. I was going to text you to ask you what was going on, but it's good that you brought it on the show. Let's hear it.
We got my new official Gold Bar whiskey. These guys, cool, man. So we got a couple of promos coming up. We got the video popping. I was shooting some promotional videos for them. We got some stuff dropping this couple of weeks. We're going to be celebrating the 12 Days of Joe in honor of the Joe Montana Gold Bar whiskey, and that will drop probably Monday, the whole promo and stuff. But, we got Gold Bar whiskey. They gave me their new Joe Montana whiskey, the official sponsor of RSF 49ers Bash, and the official whiskey of the San Francisco 49ers. So pretty cool to be sponsored by them. I was doing that yesterday. It was dope to be at Levi's on a, random day. You get access. Like, dude, it was dope. Like, we had the employee access. They let us in. We're up there. Nobody else is there. I'm just like, damn, this is cool, man. So yeah, man, it was dope to be up in Levi's and doing some work up there. So
To
fun
quote
stuff.
Wayne Breezy, "I be sipping gold bar whiskey on the rocks."
On the rock.
I was gonna say, hey, maybe 20 years down the road or 30 years down the road, who knows when? Maybe we'll see a Brock Purdy gold bar whiskey and bottle.
We'll see Brock Purdy with number 13. I'll say Purdy 13, and we're gonna be faithful to the bay. There we go. But yeah, man, the Brock Purdy's the guy. Gold Bar Whiskey is my sponsor. I love them. One of my sponsors.
There you go. When I ran into you last time at the New York Giants game, we were right by the Gold Bar Whiskey Bar, the Gold Bar Whiskey Bar, whatever they call it.
The promo.
Yeah, the Gold Bar. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where we were doing. It was cool. So yeah, speaking of this game, Seattle Niners. What are your predictions, man? What do you think overall? What's gonna happen?
Predictions. Let's do this. You know what? Initially, I had 32-17. I'm gonna make it 32-13. How about that? I'm gonna rewrite my notes, change it up because this quarterback situation is a little shaky. I know DK Metcalf's gonna try to redeem himself, and the guy is a freaking 6'4" walking steroid that runs a 4.3. But I'm not tripping because I love the way our secondary is playing now. I love the way the pass rush is coming alive, and I'm ready for this. And yeah, they're not gonna. Who's gonna throw them the ball? Who's gonna throw DK the ball? That's what my question is. And I'm not tripping off of Kenneth Walker. I know Ted likes to say, I didn't get to do my show with Ted yesterday, but I hit him up. I told him I had some things going on yesterday, but I know Ted mentioned that Kenneth Walker missed a game last time. I get it. He's the best running back, but he's never been a 49er killer. Last year, I think he only put up like 48 yards against us or something like that. So I don't think Kenneth Walker is that much to worry about the way the run defense is playing now. I mean, we stopped Philly's run game pretty easy. So it's I feel sorry for Seattle. Oh, maybe I don't feel sorry for them. I don't know.
I don't. Like I said, they cooked us for many years. Yeah, Kenneth Walker questionable with an oblique injury, and their backup running back rookie James Charbonnet. He's also dealing with an knee injury. He's questionable. So
wow.
Yeah, banged up, man. They might play, they may not. They're questionable. We'll see. But even if they play, they're gonna, how effective can they be being banged up? And maybe Drew Lock's season tomorrow. I mean, this is all signs point to a bludgeoning game, but you can't take it lightly. You can't take the Seahawks lightly. I know they're gonna try to play tough. This is their game of the year. Backs against the wall. They're 6-6. This is a must-win game. Pete Carroll knows it. Pete Carroll knows this game is big for him and the Seahawks, but I got the 49ers taking care of business because, like you said, Mooney Ward, man, he's going to go out there and play DK Metcalf tough again. He's got to prove that it wasn't just a one-time thing. But Mooney Ward's has had DK Metcalf's number over the years. There's a few times where DK's got the better and got, big plays here and there. But for the most part, man, Mooney Ward has been clamp daddy on DK Metcalf. And I can't wait to see round 2 this year. That first match was just beautiful with him and Mooney Ward. That was crazy performance. Mooney was cooking. Diamond Lenore's playing good. Ambry Thomas again, he's been playing good. He shut down Njigba. I really like this 49ers secondary now. Since Sideline Steve became Sideline Steve, this offense or this defense has just been phenomenal, man. Secondary,
all three combined at once. Bringing in Chase Young. I'm changing up the secondary a bit. I'm getting Oliver off the field and putting Ambry Thomas and Demo. And then just Sideline Steve. Put it all three at once has been a great formula. Shout out to Red Jet Shell in the chat. She said Red Jet lands at Levi's tomorrow. She's gonna be in attendance with Queen Debbie. She's gonna be there with Queen Debbie Ryan, and shout out to Debbie.
Shout out.
Lady of the Niners Empire. And you're gonna be there. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
It's gonna be a great time. And I think, again, Niners are going to control this home crowd. They know what's at stake. I think they know that they got to stay focused after the big win this weekend, which Fred Warner said last time, after Dallas. I think they lingered on that Dallas game a little too much, and it caused them to go on a little schneid there. This time, I think they're locked, loaded. Hopefully, the Eagles lose tomorrow night. But the 49ers cannot be thinking about Philadelphia or Dallas. They need to be thinking about Seattle Seahawks. I think they will. I got the 49ers cooking, man. I got them 35 to – I said 17 last night, but now with the quarterback issues and Drew Lock starting quarterback, I got it as 35-13 Niners. They're going to smoke them, man. They're going to put them in a bloodbath. 35-13 49ers. Brock Purdy, 4 touchdowns for the win. Let's go, man.
Hey, how do I don't know any American Sign Language, but if anybody in the chat may know, like I wonder what the sign is for when DK. Well, what's DK gonna tell the coaches, Pete Carroll on the sidelines, like, "Hey, I just got locked up by Mooney Ward or something." I don't know, man.
Locked up, like locked up. Yeah, maybe he's gonna learn locked up, baby. I can't do nothing, Pete. Mooney Ward is locking me up. And according to Beast Mode here, he says DK has officially adopted his new nickname, his new name, DK Ward, because Mooney Ward has officially become his father. They got legal documents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so DK Ward, that's gotta love it.
There you go.
I want to see him sideline something like to like Pete Carroll, like, and then someone interpret like frustrated, like I'm pissed off or something. Ah, well, I love it, man. But yeah, shout out to DK though. We're joking about him, but you know what? He was very respectful this week when he talked about Mooney Ward and gave him his flowers, and he said nothing but respect, and that's cool, man. He earned, Mooney Ward earned that respect because he shut him down. He put him in a cellar. He locked the key and he walked away. He walked away, left this man in a cellar, in a jail pit. Like it was amazing performance. I love Mooney Ward. He's really cooking. He's coming on the right time, like the right time of the season. He's starting to become this like beautiful lockdown cornerback at the right time of the season. And he played AJ Brown last week, cooked him, locked him up. DK Metcalf. It's not like they're easy wide receiver matchups. He's doing really good. After the criticism he took after the Vikings game, against Addison and that whole situation, he stepped it up, man. I love it. Couple real quick things before we head out, Bash. What are your? So we got the score prediction. Give me a couple bold takes. Give me some predictions, stat wise, defense. One defense, one offense. Give me two big bold predictions on this game.
Ji'Ayir Brown gets his first. Actually, it would be his second INT of the season.
Ooh, okay.
Ji'Ayir Brown, Ji'Ayir Brown will get an interception. I'm gonna get definitely get an interception for him. Okay. And Chase Young will get 2 sacks. And Bosa will get 3 sacks. How about that? If Drew Lock's playing and he's not mobile, I'm just saying, man.
Go, baby. If Drew Lock's playing, they might get 20 sacks, bro. Oh my god. Offense. Give me an offense prediction here.
Offensive prediction. We're gonna get let's see, 2 touchdowns for Kittle.
Okay. Oh, you heard it here, folks. Okay. I like it. I got a couple predictions. They're not bold ones, but I got Brandon Ayuk. He's going to get 100 yards and a tutty, and the 100 yards is going to put him over 1,000, and he's going to have officially in the first time in his career back-to-back 1,000-yard season.
There you go.
I think he's going to do that. I got Deebo Samuel scoring a rushing touchdown this weekend, and that is going to give Deebo the all-time. Check this out: the all-time NFL record of rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver. If he scores one more tomorrow, he will have the all-time record of a wide receiver rushing touchdown.
Oh wow, all time! And does he have like 5 right now for the season? I think.
Yeah, he's
for rushing.
Looking, man, he's got 18 in his career. One more puts him over the top, and I think he's going to get it tomorrow. And then I think Brock Purdy's just going to eat it up 4 touchdowns. So, yeah.
We got it's going to be a lot of fun, man. You're going to have a lot of fun at the game.
It's going to be fun. I got defensively I got an interception from Ambry. I got Ambry Thomas getting an interception. I think he's going to get one. He's just really locked in, man. And I got Bosa gets 2 sacks. I got Chase Young getting a sack. I got Hargrave getting a sack. And I got Javon Kinlaw getting a sack, baby. So let's go. Depressed Niners fan right here says, sorry I'm late. He got an A on his column paper. Shout out.
Congratulations.
Got that A because he wasn't listening to me live. That's good, baby. That A. Now you can listen, and at the end of the show, make sure you replay it back. Go on the YouTube and watch the actual whole show. But any last things here, Bash? What you got cooking up, baby?
Got cooking up. Just I'm gonna host the Bring the Heat podcast on Tuesday on my channel, the 49er Minded YouTube channel, along with gonna have my guest Mariah from 49 Faithfully podcast and Ryan from No Border Sports. Every Friday I go on with Ted. It's called Ballin' with Bash and Ted, and then that's 3:00 and then 7:00, the normal time with you and I. And also we're gonna do a post-game show after the Seahawks game. Usually I post a time maybe about half an hour after the game's over. So usually I go on at least about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after the game is over. It will be on my channel. I'll post the times. Just hit up my community tab on YouTube and my on my Twitter. It'll let you know when I go live.
Okay, very good, very good. I'll be at the game tomorrow, so I can't wait. Bring you some content from Levi Stadium. Me and you look forward to being live with you
And thank you for coming on the post game show last time. We had a fun panel last time for the Eagles game, and that was fun. I felt like a playoff game after party.
I was happy to be there, and it was a good time. I hope you have a good turnout this week. Other things here, we got Red Jet Shell. She says that she passed her financial accounting with an A. Shout out to her. I hope to
Flying
meet you
colors
tomorrow. We'll see. I'm excited to be at the game. And once again, thank you to Gold Bar Whiskey for, taking care of your boy. We got big things cooking. I also have a big collab with Rita Oak. You guys know Rita Oak.
Oh, the artist.
Yeah, the artist. We are working on a big collab design that's going to be selling soon. It's a Brock. I guess I could say it. We're doing a Brock Purdy merch drop soon, and I'm super excited about that.
She should draw you out in one of her drawings, or have Raj in there.
I don't need to be. Nobody wants to wear me on the shirt, but in honor of my IG page it's about to hit 300K probably tomorrow.
Let's go
300K. So we're gonna drop this merch. Yeah, man, good things happening now. So good to see. Excited. 49ers do good, and the whole 49er content community does good too. So happy about that. I'm hyped up for this game tomorrow. Niners got to get this dub, and let's hope the Eagles lose tomorrow. Man.
Yes, sir. Let's do that.
You guys have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you, Bash, for hopping in. Appreciate the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends, tell all your enemies. Bash, Raj, live. Watch the show. Hit that like button. We love you. Have a good night.
Bang, bang, night again.